Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday to each and every one of you all. I'm just here. At this point. I'm gonna mute you guys. All right. Glad you asked the question. I'd rather answer you than answer anybody else. All right. Are you still there? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. All right. So here we go. So we go back. Let me just go back to try to make sense of the overall situation. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure you were following me last week or whatever. I don't know at what point last week that you remember, or at what point outside of today and this week that you remember or was on live. So let me go back to last Sunday. So last Sunday, and I'm going to explain all of this because I've been trying to upload this in a video. So last Sunday, I had a medical emergency to the point where everybody that knows me knows that I get these panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and sometimes they're a little bit more worse than others. Sunday was just one of those days. You talking about sleep deprived, I'm hungry, I'm driving around, I was dealing with the car, the tire on the car had went flat. And then I just kept hearing back and forth from her about money. Everything is money. Not even, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? Or anything to that nature. It's just like, I just need my money, and I need my money now. I need my money on time, So this is why I was going so hard to accumulate the funds to make sure that she got the money so I don't have to hear her mouth. Okay. So outside of coming up with the funds to give her for the vehicle, I don't have nothing in between for myself. I have to go back and see. You may got the story mixed up, because everything over here is not in chronological order. That's why I've been starting to try to label what's going on, and then maybe I may need to go and put it in a playlist. But like the chain of events that's been going on has not been in order. So what happened was at that point of time, I went into a mental breakdown to the point where my whole body went numb. It started tingling, my eyes, everything. I had to stop for like a whole hour, and I needed to collect myself. Okay. If anybody out there suffer from panic attacks, anxiety attacks, then they can probably explain to you a little bit more in detail about it's no joke. And some are worse than others. So far as not having a shower, a bed to sleep in for 4 days, all that stuff, it just made it worse. Sitting inside this car is a lot. This is a lot for anybody. This is not healthy. This car is a trauma for me. I'm sitting here right now with the door open. This just how bad, the overall situation is. So somebody was like, okay, hey, if you go ahead and you use some of the money to get a room, is there any way possible, that the relatives will allow you to do so, and I'll return the funds back to you to replace everything? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I would hate to spend the money, but I need a hotel room, because at that point it was either go to the hospital or go to a hotel room. And I didn't feel comfortable, and I was not clean enough for myself to go to a hospital. So I went to a hotel room, and when I got to the hotel, I had checked in. Let's just keep in mind, when it comes down to these hotels, I am a Diamond member. I get a heavy discount. Sometimes some of these hotels, I use points. Sometimes I use points for the rooms. This particular stay was a cash stay. So I get the room, I check in. You were there with me. I think you were there when I checked into the hotel. That wasn't a hospital. I think we had said it looked like a hospital, but that wasn't a hospital. We checked into the hotel, and we were talking about how dirty the shower was or something like that. Yep. So that's okay. So now, so we here. Okay. So checked into that hotel. After checking into that hotel was actually $100 and maybe $80. I got that room for $80. $80 plus the cost of incidentals, which would have been returned, had the hair in it. Yes, ma'am. And then they wind up switching me. I took a shower, and after taking a shower, because I had got off live at some point with y'all, I had told you I had to call you back or do something. Switched the rooms. Took a shower. Then it was maybe like 8 o'clock, somewhere up in there, that I wind up deciding that I was going to go out to Dash to get the rest of the money. Now she going back and forth with me at this point about this doggone money. I had $250 that I couldn't transfer. It was hard for me to transfer this $250 that was left over with DoorDash, right? So after not being able to transfer that, I just held off, because they had it to the point where I could transfer only one time out the day, which was like at 4 o'clock. I didn't want to transfer the funds at 4, because I said, well, if I transfer funds at 4, then anything else that I make after I get a chance to bring my attack down, I'm not going to be able to transfer again until the next day. And since she wants the money like clockwork, it's one of those cases where it's like, okay, let me just hold off with the transfers. So my body has spoke to me, and my body was like, no, don't go nowhere. Follow your first mind all the time. I had situations in my past to the point where I ain't follow my first mind, and it wasn't the best. My first mind told me to sit down, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then from there, you can go out, you can dash, you can make the rest of the money. And even still, we're still waiting for someone else to give us some funds, right, to be able to replace those funds for the room. I got up, and I think I have a video out there, and I think I spoke about it. I got up, boom, body just hit the floor. Body just hit the ground. I couldn't go any longer. So, trying to put my pants on. After that, I said, oh no, I couldn't do it. So now y'all go back out there. Y'all will see the video where you see me in the bed. And I think I was on live. I was on live because I'm always on live. Talking about how this bed feels so good, how I didn't want to get out the bed or whatever the case may be. I was tired. I was drained. Not only that, when it comes down to me and my anxiety, I actually take medication for it. So I have not been able to take my medication at all whatsoever with being out here on the streets. It's almost impossible because it makes me drowsy. It makes me sleepy. And then it's just not, it's not a safe situation. So this is the video right here that I'm speaking in reference to. As far as not wanting to get out that bed. But I got out the bed when it was all said and done. I got up. Somebody else came back and said, all right, well, I would hate for you to leave the hotel. Is there any way possible if you can just at least get one more night? And I was like, okay, well, the nights are not that expensive. And then as far as me doing DoorDash, you know, I was making pretty decent money in that area. So I was like, okay, it shouldn't be no problem for me to get back $160 real quick. And then we got the incidentals that are coming back real quick. I explained to her what the situation was when it came down to me having a medical emergency. And at some point, I seriously don't feel as if that I should have to explain as much. But since I'm telling y'all everything that was written here is everything that I told her, I'm not going to read it because I just told y'all and it's long. But I'm pretty much going to, I'm going to put it somewhere on the video. Exactly. I had sunglasses on. Right, I gave some of my things away a couple of days ago. Exactly, I had sunglasses on that day. So when I went out, I had the opportunity of transferring her like $78. I got the receipts. But between Sunday night all the way up until Tuesday, she received a combined total of maybe like $250, close to $300, something like that. I'm not for sure, but it was somewhere to that degree where she was getting her money. And I got the receipts for it in my phone. Let me see if I can grab it real quick, because I might have deleted it because I'm running out of storage on my phone. But everybody know I'm all about receipts. But anyway, she got her money all the way up until like $250, all the way up until that point. Money has not been an issue to give her. It may not be on time, but you're gonna get it. And when I say it may not be on time, she want this money at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We're not talking about liquid funds that's needed to lease, to rent the car. We're talking about just credit. Okay. So, okay, it's fine if you want to use your credit for whatever you want to use your credit for. I get that. You know, I'm holding up to my end of the bargain. I'm giving you what it is that's due. I've already given this girl well over. Listen, I'm trying to do a short synopsis on YouTube, trying to go through the seasons. Hell, I can't even get through the seasons. I'm to the point where I'm like, no, this is all over the place. I need some help. I may need to write a book. I need to do something because this is too much. But I am trying to put it together to a certain degree on those videos out there. So now from that point on, I'm communicating with her and I'm saying, okay, hey, I haven't had a shower in 4 days. I'm sleeping in the car. I need food, things of that nature. What is the problem? She tells me what the underlying problem is that I made $800 last week, and I'm not taking priority to giving her $300, $360 a week. Well, if you take 300 from 800, that's 500. If you take 250 from 800, do the math. 550, 550, 250, 800, 300, 500, 800. Either way it go, $500, right? Okay, here we go. I'm putting gas in this car. It's $45 to $50 to fill this tank up. Now, we talking about 7 days that we got to get through the week. $45, $50 to fill up. Not only $45, $50 to fill up, I'm doing DoorDash. All right? So, I'm driving up and down, back and forth, all over the place. Now, at this given time, I done left Dallas to go to Austin. Came to Austin with $0, where y'all go out there and y'all see them videos about the gas. You see the gas videos of how I had like $2, $3. I had to work my way to Austin because the orders here in Dallas were not also great. So I worked my way to Austin, and that's when things has started to get better. But what I'm trying to explain to them is, out of $500, $550, I'm out here in the streets and I'm trying to survive. So you talking about gas, you talking about food, you talking about toiletries. I don't have no clothes. So every now and then I need to be able to buy a pair of pants every now and again, or something to that nature, you know. So now when we go back to that particular day, I finished one order and I was on my way to like the last house. And I felt like at that point in time, she had to be tracking me. She had to be tracking me because it seriously didn't make sense that she started communicating with me when I got to the last customer house. I come back, and when I wind up coming back from dropping the food off, she turned the DoorDash off. So it was completely shut off to the point where I couldn't do no more deliveries. So you take away my livelihood. Like at this point in time, I have nothing. You take away my whole entire livelihood. Then she turned around and say, I need to return the car. She had already been talking about I need to return the car since Sunday morning before money was even a question. So for me, that lets me know right then and there, you really seriously didn't even have any intentions on me keeping the car for the week, you know. But to log me out of DoorDash, to tell me that I got to return a vehicle, to take away access to the debit card that I had, me being able to generate money to be able to have food and toiletries and things of that nature and possibly somewhere to go, that's flat out abuse. It wouldn't be no different on the flip side if it was a man doing it to me, where he took all access away with debit cards, where to the point where now I don't have transportation. You sitting here telling me that I got to return this vehicle, but I done gave you over $3,000. There's no way possible. There's no reason, no rhyme or reason to this. I done gave you $3,000, and we sitting here talking about the $250 to $300 that you didn't get on time after I'm telling you I done had a medical emergency. And me, as your mother, when it all boils down to it, you should have been more understanding to the situation than anybody else out here. If we were talking about a complete stranger, then yeah, then maybe it would make sense. But in this case, it's not making sense. So she logged me out of DoorDash. She told me that she was going to report the car stolen. So if she told me she was going to report the car stolen, with that being said, I instantly say, I'm not finna drive no vehicle that's stolen. I hope you seriously don't think I'm finna drive no car back from Austin to Dallas in a stolen vehicle. There's no way possible. There's no rhyme or reason that anybody with common sense would do to such thing. Make that make sense. So that's when I was on live a couple of days ago when I was telling y'all that I was stranded and I slept at the bus stop. Yeah, that in fact was true. Listen, I am transparent. I don't have no reason to lie. All y'all got to do is ask questions, because I know things can be all over the place, especially if you're just coming in on the ass end of things. But no, I slept at a bus stop. Okay? How all of my stuff is consolidated. I done gave stuff away. I wasn't taking no chances. I wasn't finna be caught in no vehicle that you sitting here telling me to return. I wasn't doing that. So I left that car where it stood. Okay? I had already checked out of the hotel, left the car parked. You saw that. Okay. We here. Left that car parked. And that car was parked. And I left the keys in the holder. Left the keys in the holder. I didn't want no parts of it. I'm sitting outside, wet, hungry, in the rain. Even when it came down to, I don't know, the day before, whatever, somebody had to buy me a pizza when I didn't even have access to, to any money. That day I didn't have no access to no money or whatever. But on the flip side, she was already telling me to return this car back since Tuesday. But you still talking about money, but you logged me out of DoorDash. So moving forward, I'm up underneath the bridge now. She come back and she say, well, nobody told you to sleep at the bus stop. Where are you? So on and so forth. Where did you leave the car? Yada, 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 yada. I'm like, girl, who was going to sleep inside of a car after you sitting here telling me that you reported the vehicle stolen? I left it at that. I let her talk. Eventually, when I get done with the, what am I labeling this as? Back to the streets, inside, kid edition. So I'm putting all the details of everything it is that I'm telling you into the videos that I've been posting on YouTube. So if you go out there, it's only like 5, maybe 6 parts up right now. It's just too stressful and it's too emotional for me right now at this point to finish, but I will finish it at some point. So after that, after the whole rainy situation, somebody came back and somebody got me a hotel for 4 hours to be able to take a shower. I get the 4-hour hotel. After I got the 4-hour hotel, I went in there. I sat on live with y'all. I think this was day 4 yesterday. That was the day I believe that you saw me giving stuff away or whatever. I go in there. I sit. Now, after communicating with her, it seems to be that she did not call the police. So, it seems to be that she did not call the police. Her story was, I could have been in Dallas doing deliveries. But when I was in Dallas doing deliveries, I was not making any money in Dallas. The money most definitely was coming even slower in Dallas. So with that being said, why would I continue to sit there, okay, in Dallas? Now, more so going deeper into the story, another relative allowed me to stay at their house. But within the last 2 weeks, I done been put out 2 to 3 times over there because of reasonings of not really wanting me there. So if somebody really don't want you at your house, if you really don't want somebody at your house or vice versa for whatever, then why would you be there? So that's why I removed myself from the situation. It's like, okay, you know, I don't want it to be uncomfortable for nobody. Let me give everybody their space. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother story for the videos. So back to this car situation where we are right now at hand. She's going back and forth. Nothing is reasoning. So I said, okay, she didn't report the car stolen. So I wound up leaving. I left Austin. I headed to Houston because at that given moment, I needed to go see my baby. Okay? Everybody that knows that I have a baby in the cemetery. Whole entire headache. You don't think I got one? Listen, when I say I'm tired and I'm exhausted, I am tired and I am exhausted. It just don't make no sense. I go to Houston because I say, well, I don't know nobody in Austin. I lived in Houston for 4 years. I have a baby in a cemetery in Houston. For those of you all that don't know, give me a second. I'm gonna get to the videos. I'm gonna get to the story. But yeah, so she's there. So Houston is just more of a hustle city. You know, if I don't have DoorDash, guess what? I can stand on a corner in Houston and have a sign, sell some water, sell something, okay? But not in this dress. And somebody is gonna stop, gonna buy something, not look at me crazy. It's not gonna be outside the norm. You know, it's not gonna be so white collar, prestigious, liberal type situation. It's gonna be blue collar, get down how you live. It is what it is. And that's just how it is there, you know. And I know of one person that's in Houston. So if I was gonna be stuck and stranded, let me be stuck and stranded somewhere where I at least know somebody. Okay, so I drove there because that was the closest. But I'm still in communication with her, and she's talking about returning the car back to a nearby Hertz. So if I return the car back to a nearby Hertz, now that's an extra fee. And she's still going on back and forth about how much money it is that I owe her. And I'm like, you don't understand that it's now what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever the day was. I'm losing track of the days. I could have been making money all the way up until this point. Let's not start trying to calculate the days of this week, because I have not even been able to do DoorDash. This car has just been sitting as a deadhead where I have not been able to make no money at all whatsoever. Boom, I make it to Houston. The plan when I get to Houston is to go see the baby. And by the time I go see the baby, if I have to go drop the car at a nearby Hertz, then it is what it is when it comes down to the fees. I'm just out here stuck, stranded in Houston without a vehicle. But I would have that rather than be stuck and stranded in Austin, where I just don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that was that with that. Next thing I know, she come back, and then I'm going to tell more in the videos. Oh, well, I called them and I see that you're in Houston. They tracked the car and you're in Houston. And I'm just like, well, it never was a secret about where the car is located. My thing is, throughout all this whole ordeal, she's been trying to figure out where the car is located so they can come and pick the car up. I'm like, are you serious right now? Make this make sense, because it's not making sense at all whatsoever when it comes down to the whole gist of things. Okay, so now that was the end of that. That's when you saw me. Maybe I should apply for her check long time ago, baby. I don't know. I think she just going through some issues right now, and really seriously, she got this boyfriend, and I think this boyfriend is in her ear. So I think it's constantly, you know, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that, because it's all over the place. It seriously just doesn't make any sense when it boils down to it. And this is what I'm saying. You're going to pull me up out of a vehicle that I've been sleeping in for the last 30 days. You turn me off of DoorDash, my only source of income. That's abuse. Now it's deeper than the money because I didn't already gave you $3,000. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't already gave you $3,000, and we talking about $250, and then you cut off the whole money supply because you trying to figure out why did I make $800 and it's hard to give you $3. I mean, well, hello, I'm out here sleeping in a vehicle, need to eat, shit is high. Make it make sense. It's not sensing at all whatsoever. So the DoorDash is in her name. It's not my account. It's her DoorDash account. So she changed the whole complete password. Not just log me off. She changed the whole complete password. I went back to try to log on. She changed the whole complete password. Crazy work. Okay. So after all of that, I gave old girl some stuff because I'm like, okay, I can't walk around with this stuff. If they pull me over with a vehicle or whatever, then I'm just out here with all of this stuff. So I gave old girl some stuff. That morning I said, let me get back to Dallas. And somebody mentioned about Dallas, but everybody that knows me knows that I don't like to talk about my current location for safety reasons. So I made it back to Dallas yesterday. And when I made it back to Dallas, I went over to housing to try to talk to them and that overall situation. They told me I got to sit and I got to wait for a hearing. They said they don't know when. They said they don't know where. They just said go home and wait. I said I don't have a home to go home and wait for you all to give me a date. I'm sleeping in a vehicle. Like I seriously need I need a date. I need to figure out like what am I doing, how to go about just working this overall situation. No response. So where does that lead me? I'm back to a dead end. So I'm at a dead end no matter where I'm at. If I'm in Houston, if I'm in Austin, back in Dallas, I'm still at a dead end because I'm not able to generate no money. I don't have nowhere to go. So outside of DoorDash and outside of having a vehicle, I don't have nowhere to go at all. No friends, no family, no nothing. I'm just shocked out there. Now the one person who did say that I could come, that I was there, pretty much in other words, started to change their mind about me being there. So I didn't even have that option about even going back to their house. And it's just like, how could you change your mind so suddenly? Like so quick. Like, make it make sense. So I'm really out here, with nowhere to go. I'll wait a second. So after making it back to Dallas, after I made it back to Dallas, I sat, I waited it out. I contacted her trying to see, hey, good morning. I can tell you verbatim. Verbatim what was said yesterday morning. And these were the chain of events yesterday morning. Good morning. Are you going to return DoorDash? I'm sorry. Good morning. Are you going to turn DoorDash on? If I go back to Dallas, I have nowhere to go, and the other person don't want me at their house. That was at 7:44 in the morning. When I say that she did not respond to me until 3:36, she responded with this message. Hold on, I don't know if y'all can hear it.
On a recorded line regarding an extension for your overdue rental vehicle. Your rental is overdue, and I'm calling to help with extension. If you don't return it or extend, there could be legal or collection actions.
So you clearly could have just turned the DoorDash app on and let me continue to work. She goes on to say, I can turn the DoorDash back on, but I'm not renting the vehicle for it. I said, well, is there any way to at least extend it so I can get the money for it? I don't have nowhere to go. I said, all my stuff I had to throw away or give away. I said, I'm out here with no clothes. I said, I've been in this dress for over a week and don't have any money. She says, I can't extend the car because I don't have money. If you aren't using the car, I ask that you return it to the nearest Hertz. So what do you mean if I'm not using the car, return it to the nearest Hertz? That's not making sense at all whatsoever. You go from returning the car to now if you're not using the car, return the car or whatever the case may be. I'm confused. Then she goes, then I go on and I say, well, where's all the money that I gave you? What do you mean if I'm not using the car? I've been sleeping in the car. Now what am I supposed to do? And go, So we're going back and forth about the overall situation. And I told her, I said, you turned the DoorDash off on me. How did you expect for me to eat, have somewhere to sleep, make money for whatever? Like, you totally disregard my attack. I've been out here for 4 days without a place to go. No clothes, no food, and you talking about how much I owe you. You turned the app off so I could not make money. And now to this point, I still don't have nowhere to go. So the bottom line, after all of that back and forth yesterday, I'm clearly telling her I don't have nowhere to go. The only thing that she's concerned about is the car being returned, which she should have been returning the car, not me returning the car. And that's it. No concern about where I will go once the car is dropped off. So she called me back. She sent me a message back and she said that the car has been reported stolen. She started there and said the car had been reported stolen. Then she come back later and said, oh, well, you can return the car. The police is not going to pull you over. So by that time, when y'all saw me with all of my stuff, after she told me the car was reported stolen, I had already collected all of my things to leave and to be outside when y'all saw me online. So when I realized that the car wasn't reported stolen, I needed to charge my phone. I needed to have somewhere to sit, somewhere to at least sleep for what do you mean the car? Help me out. What do you mean the car? I needed somewhere to sleep. I needed somewhere to charge my phone and everything. So I came back to the car because she called me back and she said, well, Hertz is not going to tow the car. Is there any way if I can return it? I told her, I said, I'm not getting in a vehicle that's stolen. So I've been sitting in this vehicle since last night, right? Sleep, charging my phone. I'm still out here in the same dress. Like, haven't had a shower in 4 days. I haven't had a shower in 4 days. No money, no food. Exactly. She didn't call and report it stolen because the police would have been here already. Exactly. So I parked, and I told her, I parked the car on the roof of her apartment complex. This is the same roof that I've been sleeping in and sleeping on in all of those videos where she gave me a bathroom code. Didn't even come up to offer me a glass of water. Didn't even come up to offer me food. Didn't even call to say, hey, are you okay? Now, last night when I was asleep, I heard noise around the car. So I instantly jumped up. And when I jumped up, they didn't put a whole boot again on this car. So they didn't booted this car once again while I was sleeping. So now this is even more of a bigger issue because everybody told me to leave the car here. Leave the car here, return the car to hers, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Exactly. Well, it's the girlfriend. You know, it's the overall girlfriend situation because, wow, this is crazy. And I need to get in the trunk. Let me see. No, I can't even get in the trunk. They didn't put the boot on the car, and I can't even get in the trunk. I'm probably going to have to release it from the front. But yeah, it's the girlfriends and it's the boyfriends, you know, type situation. So the thing is she did not extend this car. Like, I can't even drive this car. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't even drive it. She didn't even extend the car. Yeah, she didn't even extend the car. The car has not even been extended at all whatsoever. And they barely even put put the lock on here. And I need to get in the trunk. Like, I got stuff in the trunk that I need to get. Yeah, it's just entirely too much. When it's all said and done, it's too much. And I'm going to tell you, truth be told, when it's all said and done, this is my own daughter that we're talking about. This is not even a random person in the streets. This is what makes it. This is what makes the situation so much worse. Like, how could you do your own mother like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting here. I don't have nowhere to go. I haven't eaten in 2 days. As you can see, the gas is just dwindling down. I need some help. They got these girlfriends and they got these boyfriends, and they're also influencing them. Yes, they're influencing them. My kids feel the way they feel about me, but I don't care what the situation is. When it's all said and done, they look, girlfriend and boyfriend will not do their parents this way. It won't be a problem. That boy damn for sure won't have his mama sleeping on the roof of his apartment. But you gonna allow him to allow yours, and you just right along with it? Yep, getting in their heads. So this is messed up. Like, when it's all said and done, it's crazy. And I need to get this car off this wall. Yep, there it is. That's probably maybe as far as I can go. So, can't go nowhere in the vehicle. Let's just start there. The boot is $150 to get off. Like, all of this was so stupid. In the grand scheme of things, it was just so stupid. And it just didn't make any sense when it's all said and done. Like, I'm sitting here, thank you. I'm just sitting here and have not been able to generate no money all freaking week. And so now I got stuff that's in the trunk. I'm praying they got a trunk release where I can be able to put one of these seats down and get my stuff out. That's $150 to get a boot off a car. Then after I told the guy, hey, I'm homeless, he still didn't even take the shit off. Then here it is, I'm backed in. So I just need some help because I don't have nowhere to go at all whatsoever. I got stuff inside this car that I can't even get to. Hell, I'm not trying to go anywhere. At this point in time, they told me to park this damn car. One told me to park the car. The other one told me return it. So in the whole grand scheme of things, I wasn't going nowhere. I was not going anywhere. So if there is anybody out there that's in a position of helping me, I have a Cash App and I have a GoFundMe. When it's all said and done, like, I've been sleeping in this car for days. Hold on a second. I've been sleeping in this car for days, and it's to the point now that all of this happens. This is crazy work. So like I said, I got a GoFundMe. I got a Cash App. That's listed on my bio. I'm asking for somebody to help me. I mean, at least to try to get something to eat, some food, a Zelle, or anything. Even if you don't even do Cash App, I could do Zelle. It's just to the point now where I'm just out here and I don't have nowhere to go. But the grand scheme of things, I truly believe that she's out of town somewhere. I don't even think that she's nowhere around. So you go out of town and you're actually enjoying yourself somewhere, and your mama stranded, struggling in the streets. That's crazy. That's real crazy work. Because when it's all said and done, she could have at least kept the DoorDash on. At least kept me in position to be able to make money. Like, I'm not even in the position to be able to make money at all whatsoever. Seriously. So no, I am questioning, am I trying to get the boot off? Absolutely not. Not trying to get the boot off. I don't care about getting the boot off because when it's all said and done, I don't have nowhere to go in the car. I'm not able to generate no money with the car. So of course not. I'm not trying to get the boot off. That's not the plan. I need a hotel room. I need food. I'm trying to gain some sort of stability at this point. So like I said, I don't have anything at all. Right now, I need my stuff out this trunk. Thank you for liking this live. This is what I mean when I say I'm from the streets. From the streets of Chicago. There's not too many things that I can or can't do. He don't even have this in here for real, the right way. Because that's like the little spike to spike the tire. For real. But at least it was loose enough for me to get my stuff. And get the car up off the wall. But that's crazy work. Crazy work that they would tow the car. Tow the car while I'm in the car. And after telling him that I was homeless, still no results. All right, so I said I'm just trying to get some help. Hold on, y'all. Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm to the point now where I don't know what to do. I don't have nowhere to go, nothing to do. Sitting here trying to raise funds. I'm sitting on YouTube Live right now. I have not been to TikTok, but when I say everybody just here for the story, everybody just here for the entertainment, child. I sat outside yesterday with the sign because at that point in time she went back and forth between, oh well, the car is stolen, the car is stolen, the car is stolen, between, oh well, go ahead, drop it off, the police is not going to pull you over. But you can't even give me a clear answer on where you at or anything. So apparently she didn't took her ass out of town some goddamn where. So you go out of town and you got me around here like this. This is crazy. I would have been better off if she would have went out of town and at least extended the car, at least kept the DoorDash app on or something, so I can be able to still continue to generate money. I'm still sitting in the car. Like, what sense does any of this make? I'm still sitting in the car after going back and forth talking about you didn't call the police, you finna have the car towed. You know how many times she didn't tell me that she was gonna have the car towed? So I mean, I'm just sitting here. That's the whole crazy part. I don't have nowhere to go. After calling the other child, it's like, make it make sense. Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh God, I'm back, guys. So